In this episode, I talk about passive income. Welcome to episode 108 of The Honest Entrepreneur Show, where I help creatives like you to master your marketing. Done some weird hand gestures for anyone watching the video there. My name's Tom Ross, and let's get into the show. Guys, I'm sure I've mentioned this in one of these intros before. I am a terrible fiddler. Look at this. I'm holding up this tiny piece of paper. You find these all over our office, where I just get a medium-sized piece of paper and as I'm talking or working, I shred it up into hundreds of tiny balls of paper. I irritate the shit out of myself doing this. I don't know how everyone else puts up with it. It's disgraceful behavior. I wish I could stop. It is an affliction. I'm sorry, guys.
This question is from Isabella. What do you consider passive income? What are product examples of things that, once created, are meant to generate profit with little to do except market them online?
I'm really glad you asked this, Isabella, because I don't think I've really talked about passive income on this show. So I'm excited to dive into this topic for you. I think it really does come down to how you define passive income, because I think passive income is very badly and misrepresented online, especially if we get out of the creative industry and into the internet marketing sleazy cesspool. What people advertise there is basically like you're going to drive off in your Lamborghini into the sunset and then retire on a beach somewhere while the money keeps rolling in. And that's the dream of passive income that is sold. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Like, I don't know anyone that lives completely passively. And so I have a slightly different conception of passive income. And that is simply money that comes in that isn't a complete direct trade for your time. You're not trading your time for money on an hourly basis or otherwise. And so I believe I earn passive income. I earn passive income with my company because it earns money while I sleep. That's pretty passive. But equally, I work really freaking hard during the day to keep that money coming in. And if I just left it, it would eventually just crumble and fall into nothingness. Same thing with my personal brand. You know, I'm making barely any money on this because I'm not trying to actively right now, but I've got a Patreon. And occasionally someone signs up, and that might be while I'm on vacation or while I'm asleep or while I'm at my day job, and someone signs up and I make a bit of money that way. So that is my idea of passive income. But I think the misleading word here is passive, because it kind of suggests like hands off. And that just isn't the case. Like I say, some of the people who run the best passive income businesses I know, I mention him a lot on the show, but like Dustin Lee, he literally runs a course called Passive Income for Designers. And it's a great course and his website's fantastic, but he works really hard on both of them. You know, he has to write all the course materials. He has to handle all the technical things and refunds and customer service and onboarding and refining his marketing and ensuring it gets out to the market and people hear about it. It's not that passive, right? It is only passive in the sense of not trading time for hours, like I discussed. So that I think is how passive income really works. Definitely not the Lamborghini dream, unfortunately, but it is. It's a really powerful thing. You know, I love the fact that I earn money while I sleep. I love the fact that there's no clear ceiling. I think that's another thing. Like, when you're purely trading your time for money, you will eventually hit a ceiling because you can raise your rates and so on, but you're going to hit something at some point. Whereas with the passive income model, quite often it is more scalable. You can build it a lot higher, and kind of the sky's the limit to an extent. It's just like the market size which kind of dictates that. So that's very appealing as well. But yeah, I am a fan of passive income. I used to read a lot of Pat Flynn. If you're not familiar, go check out smartpassiveincome.com. That's a great blog, and he actually runs tons of businesses. And he used to do a monthly income report where he broke down everything he earned, and some of his businesses he's very hands off with. So he probably is about as passive as it gets. That's where he might do an hour a month, and this is something which I've found, because I've got an old Photoshop blog which it's inactive. I don't run it anymore, but I make a few hundred a month probably from that, and I probably do 1 hour every 3 months just checking in on it. Like, that's basically as passive as you can get. And that's the approach Pat Flynn's gone for. So yes, that's very passive, but what isn't passive is the years and years and years and years of hard work and experience to start that thing, and then the years and years and years of working on it, doing hundreds of articles, like paying real money and time to get like member resources there, and building out the whole site, and dealing when it got hacked, and all the years of work that went into that project now result in passive residual income. But as with so many things as an entrepreneur, it's like, I'm building out this personal brand. I will eventually get some like more, high scale passive income coming in. I will eventually get some bigger financial returns, speaking gigs, books, all the stuff I aspire to. But I'm having to like kill myself working around a busy day job, probably for the next 5 to 10 years to actually get there. So my hourly rate is going to be like 0.1 pence per hour for the next few years. I'm at a huge loss in terms of what my time is worth compared to if I just went and sold it and was a consultant or something like that. But with the consultancy, I hit a ceiling. With what I'm building with my personal brand, there is not so much of a ceiling. So I'm happy to eat shit, accept the low hourly rate, because I'm going to reap the rewards in future when it comes to passive income. So if you're thinking about passive income, Isabella, and this is kind of straying into a long answer here, realize it's not the pipe dream. Realize it takes a lot of work, either upfront or ongoing, but be willing to put in the work, because, the earning money while you sleep, the lack of ceiling, there's some huge benefits. And I think it is something that everyone should explore. And it doesn't need to end up being a giant company. It could literally be enough money to come in each month to pay your bills or pay your coffee bill even. It's still satisfying to see that $50 a month rolling in passively. Question of the day. Do you have any passive income streams, no matter how small? Let me know. I'm intrigued. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm really enjoying the YouTube show. If you are too, then be sure to hit the subscribe icon and tick the little bell to get notifications when I post new content on this platform.